Are you a YouTube creator? If so, then you need to understand online laws that affect your channel. In this video, I'm going to give you 5 legal tips that will help you understand the laws that affect your YouTube channel. If you follow these tips, you can feel like you know what you're doing, you can maximize business revenues, and you can most importantly protect your channel. All right, let's dive right into it. Hey creator, I'm Corzine, your social media lawyer. On this channel, we talk all things social media law, and I teach you how to protect your accounts and maximize your business income. My creator and influencer clients often come to me and say, man, I really wish I knew about that law or about that rule. I could have avoided that bad brand deal, or I could have avoided being sued. The point of this video is for me to help you like I help them on a day-to-day basis by giving you 5 key legal tips for your online businesses. Maybe this video will help you avoid making the same mistakes a lot of my clients make. Tip number 1 is to understand the copyright rules that apply to the media that you're putting online. You know, copyright law protects your video, audio, and also written creations online. And it stems from the law of the country in which you live in. For me, I live in America, and so it stems from Section 106 of the Copyright Act of 1976. So this video that I'm making right now is automatically copyrighted. I'm doing the video, I'm recording it on a media card, and that means the law reveres it as copyrighted. If you do podcasts, you record them, you save them to a memory card or some other media, that means that that podcast, those audio, those words that you're making, that is copyrighted. You are not necessarily required to register your copyright. It just is. The law says that it is when you actually fix it in a tangible medium of expression, and it is copyrighted for your life plus 70 years. Now, on top of this copyright law are the particular rules of each social media platform that you're on. You can usually find these copyright rules in the terms of service for, let's say, like YouTube or Instagram or Facebook or LinkedIn. If you go there, you can find the copyright rules and you've got to read them. If you don't read them, you risk losing your channel or losing your account. For a list of the various social media platforms' terms of service and their locations, just text TIPS, TIPS, to the number you see on the screen. Just text TIPS to the number you see on the screen. As the creator of copyrighted video, audio, and written word, you are the copyright owner. And the copyright owner has certain rights that no one else has. The first one is that you have the right to make copies of your online creations. The second thing is you have the right to make derivative works of your online creations. So let's say in this video, I want to shorten it up for a different social media platform. I, as the original creator of this video, have the right to shorten it, maybe make it 2 minutes long or something like that, and then put it on a different social media platform. The final right is that I have the right to perform the original creation that I made. So if I wanted to give a speech using the same words I'm using here, I have that right as the copyright holder of this video. However, no one else has these rights without your permission, or unless the person's use of copyrighted material qualifies as a fair use. Which brings us to our next tip, tip number 2, you gotta know what's a fair use. Simply stated, fair use is using someone else's copyrighted content without their permission, so long as you're doing it for a transformative purpose, like commentary, critique, or parody. Now, the law of fair use generally comes from your country of origin and the terms of service of the various social media platforms that you're posting the content to. So what are fair uses of video, audio, or written word online? A good example stems from the recent court case involving the rapper Drake. He decided to use a portion of the Jimmy Smith rap, which was written by Jimmy Smith. He used this portion of the song in his song Pound Cake. Now, the court decided that Drake's use was actually a fair use because he was criticizing the original words of Jimmy Smith. He was saying that all music is important, not just jazz music. And they made this decision and they said that even though Drake did not have the permission of Jimmy Smith to be able to use this portion in his song, it was okay because it was a fair use. Another example involves books. Let's say you read portions of the Harry Potter books on a YouTube video or something like that. So long as you were commenting on those portions, critiquing those portions, or maybe making fun of those portions, it's an okay fair use. However, the minute you just read those portions of the book into a YouTube video or on a podcast or something like that, because you're just trying to entertain people with the original words, that's not a fair use. Another example of fair use stems from the use of online video. Another recent court case decided between AKILAH and SARGON involved use of 1 minute and 58 seconds of video. It was AKILAH's video that was incorporated in Sargon's YouTube channel. He did it for the purposes of criticizing the viewpoint of AKILAH, and the court said that was okay. That was a fair use, even though a substantial portion of the video, almost 2 minutes of it, was incorporated in another YouTube video. So this is another example of fair use for video. Now, fair use is an elastic principle. A lot of times I talk about using very, very small portions of people's video or audio in your own videos that are online. However, sometimes the court will allow people to use other copyrighted material in substantial portions and still qualify it as a fair use. There are so many examples of what is and what is not a fair use. If you have any questions about your use of someone else's copyrighted material in your video, in your podcast, or on your written blog, feel free to go to iancorzine.com and schedule a consultation with one of the members of my team or me myself. We'll be happy to answer any fair use questions you have. Tip number 3 is to get your business name and logo trademarked. What is a trademark? Well, it is a name, a phrase, a symbol, a logo that you use for your business or your product. The purpose of a trademark is to prevent customer confusion. For example, when you see a Starbucks cup, you know that that coffee was made by Starbucks. You're not confused that it was made by someone else. And you also know the quality of the coffee that's in that cup. To get a trademark, you must use it. It also must be a name, a logo, some sort of design that no other business or person is using. It must be distinctive. Why do you need a trademark? Well, it can attract customers because they're attracted to a cool logo or a name, but more importantly, it can prevent others from sneaking in and stealing your customers, stealing your hard work by trying to do a similar or exact same logo or name for their own business. To learn how to register a trademark, you can watch my video on it. You can watch it at the link here, or also there's a link in the description. Tip number 4 is to always tell your audience when you're being paid to promote a product. The law does not want your audience fooled into buying a product because they're all wrapped into the videos or the audio that you create. So it just requires that whenever you're being paid, you're getting compensated, you get free product, that you tell your audience about it before you do the video or the audio. You know, it's really easy to comply with this law. Your statement of some connection with a manufacturer or a brand must be prominent and it must be clear. So for example, you must state it at the beginning of your video if you're doing a product video, or if you're on a website, you just have to have it on a page that's prominent, that's something that the audience will see when they go to your website. And your statement can be as simple as, Bulletproof Coffee gave me this product to try, and then you go ahead and do your video or your audio. You might also say, Apple phone gave me this phone to review and to keep after the video. Under rules of the FTC in America and the rules of other countries, this is enough to be able to have truth in advertising. If you want to learn more about the full disclosures that you need if you're going to be promoting an online product, then you can go to my website, iancorzine.com. Tip number 5 is to always have written contracts for any online business you do. For example, if you're doing a brand deal, you need to have a written contract between you and the brand so that you know your expectations, what you're required to do under the contract. You know how you're going to be paid and when you're going to be paid. I can't tell you how many times I've had issues with creator clients where they haven't been paid and they haven't gotten a written contract, and it's been really hard to resolve the dispute. And you need to have written contracts with your team members. If you want them to be viewed as independent contractors under the law, then you need to have written terms that spell that out. so that the relationship between you and your team members is independent contractor, not employee and employer, and that way you don't owe employee benefits, and that way also that you don't get sued and have to pay thousands of dollars in fines. If you buy or rent equipment for your online content, you need to have written contracts, whether it be an invoice, certainly a receipt. You need to have this documentation so that you can justify it later on to the tax authority that this particular equipment that you're using or you're renting or you're buying, whatever, that is a business expense and you shouldn't have to pay taxes on it. If you need templates for brand deals, for independent contractor relationships, or for equipment agreements, then you can go to iancorzine.com and go into the template section and download those forms. Okay, now you have my 5 key legal tips for online business. Let's discuss business negotiations. If you want tips on how to negotiate the best deals on your online business, you can watch my video right here or go to the link in the description below. And as you watch, I'm gonna be right here at iancorzine.com to answer any of your social media law questions.